The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Tonight, uproar at police headquarters over the advanced poll ballot boxes. Also tonight, the government signs a deal with the Grand Bahama Power Company. And also coming up, Leslie Miller gets a $30 million debt wiped clean by this administration. And Turtle Grass fires all its Bahamian employees and says it's the government's fault. It's all straight ahead for you this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. We begin with breaking news developing right there on East Hill Street. Tonight, there are concerns regarding the general election. Officials from the Progressive Liberal Party, the Free National Movement, and the Coalition of Independents are protesting outside police headquarters. The protests are happening as a result of the removal of the ballot boxes destined for the Family Islands. Those ballot boxes were sent or was set to be removed from police headquarters and sent to the Parliamentary Registration Department. Now, these will be shipped to various Family Islands in the morning, or supposedly, well, some of those boxes, of course, will be, those boxes, in fact, all of them, will be active in the upcoming general election. And there is where the issue comes in. Linton Ritchie Jr. is live at police headquarters. Linton, good evening to you. What is happening right now? I know about less than an hour ago it was wild, but what's going on right now? Things seem to be a bit calm.
Shanique, that's right. Well, things have definitely calmed down since the last hour. Of course, Eyewitness News got a tip from persons that the Free National Movement would be staging a demonstration outside of the police headquarters over the moving of the 2026 general election advance poll ballot boxes from the police headquarters to the Parliamentary Registration Department. Now, over an hour ago, there was complete and total chaos. We saw where the Commissioner of Police had to make her way out with her senior executive leadership team to completely gain control of the crowd as Free National Movement supporters crowded the front entrance of the police headquarters, where they made it clear that they need answers or they will wreak havoc, some of them said even. And then shortly after that, the Coalition of Independents showed up with their supporters. Now, following that, all the supporters stayed on the outside of the police headquarters gates, but the leader of the Coalition of Independents, Lincoln Beam, the Free National Movement chairman, Dr. Dwayne Sands, and the Progressive Liberal Party representatives went on the inside of the police headquarters to have a meeting with the Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson. Now, at this time, there was not much going on the outside. Of course, persons were just shouting and cheering for their party, noting that from their view, they will do whatever it takes to protect the democracy of our country. Then, shortly after, all parties emerged, and it was announced by the Free National Movement chairman, Dr. Dwayne Sands, that what was planned for the ballot boxes to be moved from the police headquarters to the Parliamentary Registration Department tonight will not happen. He made it very clear that all parties will be meeting with the Parliamentary Registration Department and their legal team at the PRD to decide the way forward for these ballot boxes. Now, just to be clear here, to sort things over, it was being alleged that the Family Island ballot boxes would be moved as they had to be packed away and sent off to the Family Island for count ahead of next week's general election. Well, they will be counted on the day of, my apologies. But since then, it was made clear that the ballot boxes would not be moved. Tensions have since calmed down, and all parties have made their way to the Parliamentary Registration Department to meet with officials. But of course, at this hour, as I mentioned, not much action here anymore at the police headquarters. It was complete chaos earlier. There were officers standing in the street directing traffic. We even saw where party supporters, tensions were going high between them all. They were near a brawl almost. We saw Eyewitness News witness that account, but that was quickly simmered down by authorities and party representatives. But Shanique, of course, as I mentioned, the boxes will no longer be moved tonight from the police headquarters over to PRD. Sending it back to you at the desk.
Linton, thank you so much. If you can hear me, when will the boxes be removed? Because it's not that they cannot be removed, they must be removed. That's a part of the process. So any idea when this exercise will take place?
You are correct, yes. So the boxes have to be moved. The Family Island boxes have to be moved from the police headquarters. When we posed that question to all party representatives, they were unable to provide us with an exact timeline of when the boxes will be moved. They simply made it clear that tonight, following their meeting, they expect to have more answers, as they described the process completely as a miscommunication. Now, of course, we saw where the government pushed back against those rumors from the Coalition of Independence and the Free National Movement. We spoke with the Director of Communication, Eleuthera, who made it clear that from their view, they communicated with everyone involved, all party stakeholders, that the boxes would be moved. But, of course, like I said, to answer your question in the beginning, we have no clear timeline on when those boxes would be moved from the police headquarters to PRD to be sent to the Family Islands.
Linton Ritchie Jr. on East Hill Street the night, just outside the police headquarters there on East Street, covering something that unfolded, I think, just around 6 until just a short while ago, with various political parties and their representatives there on East Hill Street at police headquarters, having multiple questions because the ballot boxes are being removed, those destined for the Family Islands. Well, we're going to get just sort of more information and clarity on this. Joining me now is the former Parliamentary Registrar Commissioner, Sherlyn Hall. Are you there, Mr. Hall? Please get him on. Get him on the phone so we can get this going. Meanwhile, though, go back right here on the same thing right here. Yes, thank you. We spoke with, once the news broke, we spoke with a number of persons, former Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, a senior parliamentary official, and Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson, to find out about this process. We are also told that it is customary, again, that you heard Linton say, for the ballot boxes to be sent from headquarters to the Parliamentary Registrar Department. I think we may have Mr. Hall on the line, and then I'll go to what Parliamentary Commissioner Bethel had to say. Are you there, Mr. Hall?
I am here, yes.
Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining me here on Beyond the Headlines. Thank you for giving us a few moments of your time. Mr. Hall, let's talk about this process. Is this something new that Harrison Thompson made up in this 2026 general election cycle, or is this something that is tradition?
When you say new, to which?
Pardon me, sir. The removal of ballot boxes that will be then shipped to the Family Islands as we understand it and are being told.
No, there's nothing unusual about that. We have always packed ballot boxes to be shipped ahead of the general election to make sure it gets there on time, and it's put under custody of the returning officer in collaboration with the police and various Family Islands. So it's been kept in a safe place based on the Parliamentary Commissioner's instructions, directive.
And who was in charge of housing these various boxes on the various Family Islands to ensure no tampering, to ensure that Leslie, no, you walk in behind, you walk. Ensure that there's no tampering, and to ensure that nothing happens, sir, in terms of people either meddling with the ballots, anything of the sort. Where is it? Well, I don't know if it's security reasons that you should say, however you can answer that, sir. Are they kept in a safe place that Bahamians can trust the process?
Yes, I think all citizens could be aware. We could trust our police officers. We could trust our district administrators, and they collaborate, and it's kept in a safe place. The keys are protected, and none of our parliamentary commissioners had any issue with the safety of ballot boxes pending the opening of the poll on election day. So that issue never arisen.
Now, Mr. Hall, I want to ask you this, sir. How long has this been happening? Just how long is this removal from the police headquarters, as we are accustomed to hearing, then taken to the Parliamentary Registration Department and in this instance that was initially planned, tomorrow morning at some point, ship them to the various family islands or fly them, whatever it is. How long was this taking place?
I think ever since we've been doing elections, Madam, it's nothing unusual. I think people are making a mountain of a mole, really. The parliamentary commission has that authority under the Parliamentary Elections Act, and we collaborate with the police and the district administrators, who is really the returning officers. And the boxes are kept safe. I don't think there's no need to raise no alarm. I think we always try to hide, and this election is silly season, but I don't think the people should blow this thing out of proportion. The boxes are safe, and Mr. Thompson is in this right with Parliamentary Commissioner to pack the boxes and send them there in advance.
And I want to ask you this one question. This is something you yourself would have done when you were Parliamentary Commissioner?
Oh yeah. We did that for the 2017 election. We did that for the referendum we had in 2002 and 2016. So it's a customary traditional thing. And the Parliamentary Commission has control on the Parliamentary Elections Act. It's safe, and we are responsible officers, and we want to see democracy thrive, and we will do nothing to harm the reputation of the Bahamas.
We have heard former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham say elections in the Bahamas cannot be stolen. We have heard former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis just last week say elections in the Bahamas cannot be stolen. I want to ask a former Parliamentary Commissioner, Sherlyn Hall, who has sat in the chair for years and managed general elections and various other kinds of elections, referendum, the rest of it. Can elections be stolen? Can this be tampered? Can a party be robbed of the natural outcome of the Bahamian people by tampering by another party or the government in power of the day?
Well, I think both of the former both of the former prime ministers are correct. Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham is correct, and former Prime Minister Curry is correct, and former Prime Minister Mr. Minnis is correct. There are too many checks and balances, and the boxes are well kept, and no one could sneak no election. That's a figment of the imagination, really. And I think people who push that agenda are just trying to be mischief makers.
Mr. Hall, before we wrap up, what do you want to say to the Bahamian people tonight? Because, and understandably, people can have a lot of questions, a lot of confusion, because after all, you are hearing from officials, people who've sat in government and perhaps in government now about their concerns about the integrity of this vote come May 12th, and even the advanced election of last week. What do you want to tell the Bahamian people tonight?
Keep calm, rest assured. You have to trust our officials, you have to trust the police, you have to trust the Parliamentary Commissioner. We all love this country called the Commonwealth of Bahamas. I think the people who are pushing that negative vibe agenda, I think they're spoiling the good reputation of Bahamas. I understand we have international observers here, OAS, Commonwealth, and Great Britain and the U.S. I think we have to behave ourselves properly to make sure we maintain the good reputation of Bahamas. And I don't think there's nothing untoward. And I think come after the poll is closed and May 12th, we'll all be very proud of how we conduct ourselves. There's nothing to be, I would not say nothing or nothing adverse or negative to tarnish the reputation of Bahamas. And I think any God-fearing Bahamian should do likewise to make sure promote the goodwill of this country.
Former Parliamentary Commissioner Sherlyn Hall speaking with Eyewitness News on the integrity of this election, the custom that is to remove ballot boxes to be shipped to the family islands, the fact that he says there would be no tampering on whichever island they land to because they are then presented in the custody of the local government officials, the island administrator, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force on each of those family islands that the boxes would be sent to. Now, when would these boxes be now sent to the family islands? Well, we'll see. According to Linton, who joined me live a few moments ago, a meeting is now taking place at the Parliamentary Registration Department where Harrison Thompson is meeting with the various party officials. Beyond the Headlines will stay on top of this, as well as Eyewitness News. We are going to stay on top of this so that you get the story and you make up your mind, but we want to be responsible in reporting it to you so that you understand exactly what it is. Sherlin Hall, you heard a moment ago what he said to us here, and Harrison Thompson said something similar. If we get to that when we come back, if not, we will continue to move because we have a full, tight show ahead, but we will discuss this when we come back after the break. This is Beyond the Headlines. Don't go anywhere. We are back right after this.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel, and I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Luckily it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at us. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! Help! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes you, presses you, and entertains you 24/7.
The F&M can't agree on anything except attacking everything started by the PLP. Now he's calling for a reset, but it's stop, review, and cancel again. New airports, school breakfast, upskill, the National Youth Guard, energy reforms. This crew would roll back progress. The FNM, not strong enough to lead us forward, but petty enough to drag us back.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin? Relieve it in 60 seconds with Aveeno Skin Relief. With soothing triple oat complex, clinically proven to heal and strengthen dry skin. Aveeno, your skin stronger.
Don't let diarrhea steal your sunshine. Imodium Multi-Symptom Relief gets to work fast in just 1 hour, offering our most complete relief from diarrhea, bloating, gas, and cramps. So you can get diarrhea off your mind. Imodium. Calm the chaos of diarrhea.
We're expanding opportunities by investing in our people.
Opportunities like Upskill Bahamas.
We created our first national apprenticeship program.
We're promoting Bahamian ownership in tourism.
We're supporting Bahamian athletes.
Our first National Youth Guard.
We're building new roads and airports across the Family Island.
The world will keep changing, but so will we. And we're just getting started.
Go online to read our blueprint for progress.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We're still looking at this evening's protest. You heard a number of party officials from the PLP, the Free National Movement, and the COI protested outside police headquarters for the removal, or because of the planned removal of the ballot boxes set for the Family Islands tomorrow morning. You heard from Linton Ritchie at the top of the show that a part of the protest was, I think, notification. And of course, we outside know nothing of this because this is, as you heard Sherlin Hall moments ago, this was happening since elections have been in place in the Bahamas. And it's not something that's announced. It's just something that's a part of the system. And the system is supposed to smoothly do what it does. But we also spoke with the sitting parliamentary commissioner, Harrison Thompson, to find out about this process. Here's what he told us.
The advance poll, we have to pack the ballots for the Family Islands, and the advance poll needs to go in the ballot box for the family island. You're not moving the New Providence ballot boxes. They're staying at the police headquarters for now until the election. But the family island boxes will be moved so that we could continue to pack the family island boxes to go to the family island.
When will they be shipped out?
They start to be shipped out tomorrow, God willing.
Moment, but we've got to keep this moving, and the reason is because Jose Etienne is is in South Eleuthera, I believe it is. The Progressive Liberal Party is having a rally in South Eleuthera. I believe he's also with the Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper right now, and so we're going to go and join Jose live. Jose, good evening to you. Kindly give us an idea of exactly how things are looking in South Eleuthera, and I imagine the Deputy Prime Minister might have some sort of statement or response to make as it relates to this protest this evening? Okay, well, we'll get to him. Just let me know, guys. Meanwhile, let me bring the panel in. Ellington Ferguson, Leslie Miller, and Howard Johnson. Good evening, gentlemen. Great to have you all here. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Thank you for having me. Good evening, colleagues.
Shanique, good evening.
Gentlemen, your thoughts on what played out at police headquarters just a short while ago, and I imagine it's now unfolding at the Parliamentary Registration Department. Your thoughts on the whole confusion of it all and a lot of what's being said and the thoughts around it?
I think it's just a very unfortunate situation. We have a lot of new people involved in the political fray. I think when you find out something is going on, you try to educate yourself first before you create a ruckus, because obviously the persons are not aware of this process. And I mean, we have now 7 days and the boxes have got to get to the family islands. You heard the parliamentary commissioner talked about how they were taking them down there by the Parliamentary Registration Department to package them and get them ready for shipping. It's just unfortunate, all this foray about stealing the election and this person do this. Yeah, you have all three of the parties' representative up there making a ruckus. So who was trying to steal it? Was it the PLP? Is it the FNM? Is it the COI? I mean, come on, man. Let's calm down. I think calmer heads need to begin to prevail in this country. There's a trend that we're going into the election a little more vicious than in past. I know we've had some heated elections, but it's a trend and then there's a lot of ignorance. Ignorance is becoming very loud. Then there are some people who I realize is taking prey on the masses' ignorance of things to rally up people who don't know no better. Okay, please, man, let's kind of tune down the rhetoric. You have your count of those ballots. You know how much ballots you close with. You know how much was used. You know how much was unused. When the polls open, if those numbers are different, then you raise hell. Why we have more ballots, used ballots, than when we closed during the advance poll? Why we have this additional amount of ballots? Then that's when you raise hell. And so it's just disappointing.
Thank you, Ellington. Leslie, put a pin right there. We do have Jose now, who's ready from South Eleuthera. Jose, good evening to you. Welcome to the show. Bring us in. What's happening there in South Eleuthera?
Well, Shanique, I'm here live in Central and South Eleuthera at the Longley Newberry Park in Savannah Sound, to be exact, where the governing Progressive Liberal Party is having its Choose Progress rally here in Eleuthera. It comes as the governing PLP is relentlessly and aggressively taking on this island-hopping campaign, bringing its message to voters across the island, across the country. And so here in Eleuthera, I wouldn't be surprised, Shanique, if there are individuals who came from North Eleuthera to be here in Central Eleuthera to be with party supporters, to be with the party's base, as they look to hear from party leader, party deputy leader, and the party's members of parliament for the area as they make their case. Of course, we do know in North Eleuthera, the incumbent member of parliament there is Sylvanus Petty. He's looking to be re-elected. We obviously know the member of parliament for Central and South Eleuthera, where we are now, is Clay Sweeting. He's also a cabinet minister, making some inroads as it relates to infrastructural development and family island development. Of course, he's obviously looking to be re-elected. And so, Shanique, lots of momentum. As a matter of fact, Shanique, before I even transition, I'm going to get out of the way just so you can see for yourself, Shanique. Earlier, it was pretty much empty, but now we're seeing lots of crowd, lots of individuals here, lots of party supporters here. Again, I'm sure some of these individuals from North Eleuthera, a lot of them from neighboring settlements, Tarpon Bay, Governor's Harbor, etc. And they're here for the party's rally, talking about Choose Progress, right? And so, Shanique, I'm not going to go any further. I'm going to bring with me the Deputy Prime Minister, Chester Cooper, the Member of Parliament, incumbent Member of Parliament for the Exhumas and Ragged Island. DPM, we are here live in Eleuthera. I'm sure you could sense the excitement. There's an avalanche of excitement here. You're going to be taking the podium in a moment, making your case to voters here. But what is the message? Well, a simple question. What is the message going to be that you're going to relate to voters here?
Firstly, it's good to be here in Central and South Eleuthera. A few weeks ago, we were up north. Tonight, this is going to be an exciting opportunity to share our track record of progress. To talk about the Member of Parliament, Clay Sweeting, who's fighting for his constituents, and really to lay out the plan for the future, to celebrate the projects from north all the way to south, the airport development, the expansion of tourism, the investment of more than $2 billion into the economy here through foreign direct investments and in infrastructure. Clay is the minister responsible for Works and Family Island Affairs. He loved this community, he believed in results, and tonight we're going to talk about real representation and real results. I believe they have a quality Member of Parliament here in Central and South Eleuthera, and tonight we're going to tell our own story.
Thank you. You just heard from the Deputy Prime Minister, Chester Cooper, who's again going to be mounting the podium at some point to talk about the progress that he believes the PLP has been able to achieve here in Central and South Eleuthera. And so, Shanique, we're on the ground. Of course, like I said, if you look around, there's lots of excitement. You can hear that I'm competing with the music as things are ramping up. Again, an avalanche of excitement. And so, Shanique, we're going to send it back to you. And whatever else happens from here, we're going to be providing continuous updates on our digital platforms so that those tuned in will be able to see what's being said, will be able to hear what's being said, and will be able to see what's being done here in Savannah Sound at the Longley Newberry Park here in Central Eleuthera. For now, I'm Jose Etienne, sending it back to you, Shanique, at the desk.
Jose, thank you so much. That is Jose Etienne in Central and South Eleuthera for PLP rally that's happening right now. Well, we're going to get into, Leslie, you were about to share your thoughts, and when we can bring in guys, Howard Johnson, we can do that. Leslie, you were about to jump in. You were a veteran politician here. You are a veteran politician here. You've been through this election process. Do you know of this sort of process where the ballot boxes are moved from, especially those for the Family Islands, moved from the police headquarters, taken obviously into the custody of the Parliamentary Registration Department, and then shipped off to the Family Islands?
You know, I can't begin to express my bitter disappointment with what is taking place by grown men and women who have been in Parliament before and who were in Parliament prior to elections being held next week, Tuesday. It bothers me that they're trying to cast these aspersions on the ballot, on an election that we hold so near. You know, when I look back to 1987 election, when I was first elected for the good people of Blue Hills, these matters never rise. In 92, when Mr. Ingram, God bless him, took over the F&M and carried them to victory in 92. These situations never arose. In 97, when he won again, when the PLP had every right to complain that we were so petty and childish to believe or make Bahamians believe that there could be some cheating. Not a word. In 2002, the PLP won again. I was on that ticket as Minister of Trade and Industry after we won. In 2007, Mr. Ingram came back and won. 2012, we came back and won. How is it now that 30 years later, grown men and women are accusing the system of being rigged? It's a total, utter disgrace what is happening now. And I resent it totally as a former minister in the government and as a former member of Parliament. It is a total, absolute disgrace that our neighbors in the world would look on Bahamian politics as something to be disregarded, that there could be cheating in an election. Mr. Ingram told them over and repeatedly, it cannot happen. Every election we had, the ballot boxes would go from island to island. It's either kept by the top police force or stationed in those islands, by the chief commission officer in those islands. You can send one of your representatives on that plane to go with them, each party. This is happening. Why are they doing this? This really bothers me.
And so it is
they are unfit to be in Parliament.
It is known, Leslie, that each of the parties have a representative that fly with the book.
At all times. This is disgraceful, man. And petty. I don't know. I respect Ms. Ingham the highest. The PM, the CFA, the former PM, Christie. They have never, ever questioned. I'm just talking to minutes. They have never questioned the sanctity of our election to these men. It is disgrace that people like them have to go in Parliament with that mentality to show the people that yes, they will cheat. It cannot happen. The system protects you. It's disgraceful, man. They got no class. None.
Howard, good evening to you. Welcome to the show. Howard, jump right in. Your views on everything that unfolded this evening.
Yes, good evening, Shanique. Good evening, colleagues, and good evening, Bahamas. I tend to agree with much of what Leslie and Ellington both have said. I think some of this fodder that's going on has to do with the fact that there was some chaos with the advance poll the other day. And I believe that it is also in part because of some people knowing that election is but 6 days away. We're down to the final stretch, and people's reputations are on the line. People's expectations of contracts and livelihoods and all of these things are on the line. And those things make people do some crazy things sometimes. However, I tend to agree with what Leslie said. I mean, from time immemorial, we've had a system. There are standard operating procedures, and there are systems in place. And those are the things that have caused there to be incumbent governments in the Bahamas that have changed 5 consecutive times before 2026. The incumbent government has lost 5 times in a row. And so if that were not the case, if the elections weren't safe, and that were not the case, then we would not have had 5 changes in governments in a row in the country. I don't understand what happened today, Shanique. I don't understand.
Howard, was it you who was on another Caribbean island shortly and a short while ago, and the people say, what the hell is going on in the Bahamas? And the Bahamas looking like a little hick town?
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
come on, man.
During the advance poll.
That's what Haiti does, not us.
Listen to Howard.
During the advance poll, I was in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and I was visiting a local watering hole there, restaurant and bar, with friends. And on the TV, they were showing some of the chaos. On local Trinidad TV, they were showing some of the chaos and the footage from our advance poll. And the people in there were saying, look what's going on. What the hell is going on in Bahamas? And they sounded so disappointed, and they sounded so shocked, because we are looked at as the United States of the Caribbean. We're the gem. We're the leaders who are supposed to be out front and center. And these are people who just had elections less than 2 years ago, and their elections did not look as chaotic and as crazy as ours did. And I felt kind of disappointed at that.
I'm sure embarrassed as well.
Embarrassed, very embarrassed.
Listen, let us all admit that what happened last Tuesday was disgraceful, to say the least. But let us also admit that once you got past those lines, the problem with the early voting, wasn't the process, was the fact that they only had 2 rooms available. How is it allowed that to happen is beyond me.
That doesn't make sense. Yep.
I told the PM that I saw him, I said, this got to stop. They know better. All those people know better. It should never have happened now.
Absolutely.
Once you get inside the room, within a minute you voted.
Yeah.
That's true. Once you got through the line,
within 60 seconds,
and got in the room,
you were out.
You were done.
God's sake, man.
Leslie, before we go to this very, very quickly, let's talk about this $30 million loan that the government is wiping clear for you, doing you a favor. They say this look like the PLP, friends, family, and lovers. What's happening?
Madam, in 2010, the government needed places for different ministries and entities to reside in. Robin Hood had closed down in 2012. We were approached by the government of the Bahamas. Fine, you want to rent? We have a place there. Robin Hood just closed, one beautiful place. everything intact in the building, air conditioned, the whole 9 yards in A1 condition. The Prime Minister got up in Parliament and requested that Parliament allow him the opportunity to rent the premises that were available. The leader of the opposition then, who was Dr. Minnis, who became the Prime Minister, seconded. It passed the House, first time in the history of the country, that you had to have approval, because I was a sitting member of the House, not a member of Cabinet, and it was passed. We started to do the work. Summervin's investment put in about $250,000 to start the renovation at Robert. I can show you it tomorrow if you like. On the northwestern side of the building, all the offices are there, almost complete. When the F&M came to power, the Prime Minister assured us that he would go ahead and complete the job and get it done. However, his Minister of Finance refused to see us. So I'm not going to see you all. We're not going to have any discussion on it. In 5 years, we never had a discussion on it. But they never counted the leases. They then went to their consultants in London, who every governor in the Bahamas in the last 60 years went for them for international advice on matters that they figure was a little bigger than what we have in the Bahamas. They went to them. And the consultants told them, why would you send us such a request when the leases went through the halls of Parliament? What body in the country is more higher than Parliament itself? They say you must honor the leases or negate the leases, but pay for the time that you've already wasted, get it over with. Now, that was year 3. They did nothing. Nothing at all. They lost the election, the PLP came in. First year, nothing. Just a repeat. You know, I'm not going to take any responsibility for something that was not my doing. We gave you a lease, you accepted lease, it went through Parliament, end of story. Remember, Minister, the government leases building out for the post office. His went through, but no problem. One white, one black. You know, and I don't. You know,
so how it ended up, unless I misunderstood, how it ended up that you have a $30 million debt?
We got a loan from the Bank of the Bahamas. In fact, the Bank of the Bahamas, the loan situation was so chaotic back then that the central bank was willing to close them down. We went and showed them that they overcharged us on our loan by $3.2 million, which they accepted, that they were wrong in doing so. And the interest rate is what brought it to that. We borrowed some $12 million to begin with. And the interest just keep climbing and climbing. Don't forget, that was 13 years.
Yeah. This is nearly 15 years ago.
Exactly. Okay, and now we're hoping that before the end of the week, this thing will be finished with. I can get on with my life with my family after 13 years of going left and right and get it over with. So we look forward to this thing. I'm coming to end very short.
The advance poll,
Only at Popeyes can you get the amazing deal of 5 pieces of chicken for $10 at all Popeyes locations. Visit us every day, any day, and get your 5 for $10 only at Popeyes.
Y'all again?
Monday, Popeyes. Tuesday, Popeyes. Wednesday, Popeyes. Thursday, Popeyes. Friday, Popeyes. Saturday, Popeyes.
Girl, what we getting for lunch today? Popeyes again?
Popeyes. Every single day, give me Popeyes.
The F&M can't agree on anything except attacking everything started by the PLP. Now he's calling for a reset, but it's stop, review, and cancel again. New airports, school breakfast, upskill, the National Youth Guard, energy reforms. This crew would roll back progress. The FNM, not strong enough to lead us forward, but petty enough to drag us back.
5 cars, catch the keys, don't blink, take these.
Island Luck is giving away 5 brand new cars. Earn 10 reward points for a chance to enter and win. Enter weekly from Monday 12 a.m. to Sunday 2 p.m. Winners are announced Sundays at 3 p.m. on 103.5 The Beat and Island Luck Socials. 5 cars, 5 weeks. The more you play, the better your chances. Visit islandluck.com for more information. Catch the keys only at Island Luck. Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
We're expanding opportunities by investing in our people.
Opportunities like Upskill Bahamas.
We created our first national apprenticeship program.
We're promoting Bahamian ownership in tourism.
We're supporting Bahamian athletes.
Our first National Youth Guard.
We're building new roads and airports across the Family Island.
The world will keep changing, but so will we. And we're just getting started.
Go online to read our blueprint for progress.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
So of course, you all in this segment, we were to focus on the matter of turtle grass and of course the Integra Group in Exuma in Samsung Key and what's happening there. You all saw the headlines. I think it was yesterday where the turtle grass. Bring Howard in, please, you all, and we could bring up everybody on the screen because what we are waiting for right now. I just got word from my team in production that there is a protest now unfolding at the Parliamentary Registration Department. And so we are waiting to go live or get the first images happening there right now. Of course, you all know that protest is to do with the removal of, and removal maybe is the wrong word. However, so removing or transferring transporting that. That's why it's good to have a smart panel, eh? So transporting of the ballot boxes that are set to be flown to each family island that were used in the advance poll. Those ballot boxes will be sent to the various family islands where they're already assigned for election day. That has been stopped. It's been stopped since earlier this evening at police headquarters. So right now, those boxes are still at police headquarters. Meanwhile, the party representatives headed over during the show, headed over to the Parliamentary Registration Department, which has been relocated on Tony Williams Darling Highway. Yes. Let's talk, gentlemen, about the police headquarters and the reason it's been housed there, these ballot boxes for quite some time now, is because of a double system lock that's in place and vault. Well, that very vault is now installed and in a double system where you need more than one person to even figure they're unlocking it and tamper it. Well, you can't tamper with it. It's a vault. However, it is to my understanding, and it's been reported since the by-election of last year, that also is in place at the Parliamentary Registration Department, which is where the transfer would have happened for shipping to the various family islands. Gentlemen, until we could get some images up and get some people and get some idea of what's happening at the Parliamentary Registration Department, your thoughts on the steps to I guess obviously bring a bit of modern and structure, additional structure to the Parliamentary Registration Department by its new location and headquarters, and then again just how this 2026 election season is unfolding with all of the accusations and the claims and the spotlight on fraud and all the rest of it. Your thoughts?
Shanique, first of all, I think there need to be some sort of an educational process where we look at these persons that are going to be involved in this, candidates, their generals, and whoever else is working with them, persons that are going to be in the polls. We've got to make sure that these persons are clear and that they understand this whole process. And of course, candidates, you have a great responsibility. Parties, you have a great responsibility to ensure that your people are properly trained. But my thing, Shanique, I think there is a set of people that are hell-bent on creating pandemonium, on creating chaos.
Because they know they're going to lose.
See, because what they do, they use these things to rally up their people against the system unnecessarily. Because these are processes, it's easy to find out. If you don't know the process, ask a question. I think there needs to be a wider education so you could limit what our leaders or somebody in charge can feed to somebody who else or to a number of persons who is ignorant of the process and cause chaos.
But why is it that we trusted the process since independence? You know what it is to trust the process when things weren't even as modernized and maybe when there were even more mistakes being made, to trust it then and have real questions and protests and scrutiny and all that. And mind you, those things have their place. Let's not be silly. But to have this play out now in 2026?
It works for someone's benefit.
But yet you all tell me you can't use the term for things like this. And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
you got to call it for what it is.
It's unfortunate.
Shanique,
Go ahead, Howard.
everybody knows what's going on. Every party has their agents and their representatives that are part of the process. Now, the only way I could see a protest of this magnitude developing is if certain agents and representatives from certain political organizations were not informed what was going on and others were. That's the only way I could see this happening. Now we're gonna find out what's going on really and truly, but I can't see this happening unless some were informed and some were not.
No, they need to find out. With the greatest respect, everyone is informed at the same time. Those who are protesting just want to be a nuisance. They know they're gonna lose, so they want to set the stage. This is what happened. This is why we lose. And if you do it in the Family Islands, they'll do it in Nassau. That's what it is. It's a gimmick. And it's time the gimmick stop, man. This is a real country we have called the Bahamas, you know. This is not some part of Haiti where you can pull those tricks. This is the Bahamas. Show us more respect, man. For God's sake, show us more respect as a people.
We're better than this.
Yeah, we have to do better.
Don't call them. Get real.
I thank you all. I thank you all very much. I thank you, Ellington Ferguson. I thank you, Leslie Miller. We were waiting to see, Janelle, do we have anything coming in as yet from Tonic Williams Starling Highway? If we do, we can just quickly get that in. But I thank you all very much for being here. I thank you, Ellington Ferguson, Leslie Miller. I thank you, Howard Turtlegrass. I know they short me 10 minutes. I'm not sure why I'm being told to wrap up right now. 10 minutes, you all short me. 10 minutes. Yeah. And so that's robbery right there. That's right. That's robbery. That's robbery. I shall protest. I tell you that. I shall protest. Howard Johnson, thank you very much as well.